The sequel normally brings with it an air of expectation. You expect that the film will do fairly well. You expect that the film will bring back elements of its original while adding new things. Well, The Empire Strikes Back did that. Superman 2 did that. Lethal Weapon 2 to an extent did that. But The Hangover Part 2 does none of those things well. It's a film that really becomes a very lazy exercise. In fact, that seems like an oxymoron because there's no exercise at all here. It's the same story that we saw 2 years ago in the great and wildly funny The Hangover. Todd Phillips directed that, and he directs this, and he doesn't do it very well. Well, the direction's not the problem. His visions are very good. He still knows how to really get us to a time and a place, but the writing here is the worst part of it, and two new writers come in to add. Mr. Phillips also comes in too, and they just seem to have rushed the script for this film, which takes place in Thailand, and now Bradley Cooper, Zach Galifianakis, and Ed Harris, make that Ed Helms, are together as buddies again to watch Stu get married. And Stu is played by Mr. Helms in this film, and in the first half hour of the film, it works very well. It's very funny. And of course, Mr. Galifianakis is really good as Alan, a guy that just says all the incorrect things at all the correct, or I should say, all the wrong times. The Hangover Part 2 rides its wave for half an hour and then falls off the edge of the cliff. And big time it falls over the edge of the cliff as it tries to maintain the energy and discipline and actually some of the more wayward aspects of that first film, but it doesn't reach those heights at all. It's DOA by the time we get past the 35th minute or so. Ken Jeong is back as Mr. Chow, and he is just screeching his way through the rest of the film at 1 million decibels per second, and he is loud and he is shrill. And he was great in the first film when he gave his character room to breathe. It seemed the film gave a lot more room for characters to breathe. The film was much more intimate on the first go-round. This time it's a hodgepodge, it's a mess. It's full of insults about Thailand and Bangkok in particular. Lots of N-words to fly around at least 3 or 4 occasions. And there is a funny moment though with a soundtrack that concerns a monkey that is a little funny. But beyond that, really, no use here for any of that kind of stuff. It's a disappointing film for many reasons, and quite frankly, the laziness of the film is one of the more offensive things, including the N-word and a situation that we see in the end photo credits. One photo in particular that really jarred me, that does not belong there. And I know there are others that have shared that opinion as well. I wonder what the MPA thinks, and I know that Roger Ebert's talked about this in his review, and I wonder what they were thinking with that particular shot. I do agree with Roger about it. But the rest of this film was very poorly done anyway, particularly the cameos, very lazy cameos. Paul Giamatti, who's such a great talent and so good in all the work he does, just really gets wasted here. And Mike Tyson, who was so great in his cameo in the first film back in 2009, looks tired here. It's too bad because on other days, both of these particular performers do really well, but not here. This is one of the off days for Todd Phillips, and certainly the film, which goes nowhere fast, is definitely a large failure. One of the worst, actually, I think, of 2011. And I didn't like Bridesmaids either, but I'll tell you, I liked it a little more, in fact, a lot more, than this sequel. I'm Omar Moore for the Popcorn Reel.